I talked about this a little bit in the pre-message, which, man, I didn't realize how long that went on. I almost had to scrap the message because that went on for so long. But
that was okay.
Yeah, it was.
death isn't life. Okay?
Yeah.
All right, well, once the knowledge of good and evil entered the earth, we had a knowledge of good and evil. And we saw death, and we said death is evil. And we saw God, and we saw God had life and light, and He didn't have any death, and we said that's good. Well, then we didn't see light and life in ourselves. We saw death.
Right.
And so then we concluded we were evil. So we judged ourselves through the eyes of death.
Yes.
Then we also judged God's heart through the eyes of death. We sat with the knowledge of good and evil. We said God must live by that also. And so God must look at us in our body of death and have rejected us and left us as orphans in the earth. Therefore, we got to give ourselves life.
Yeah.
That's what Adam did, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And so everything God was doing after that was trying to bring forth faith in our hearts towards Him, where something could be born in us, where we would stand still and see the salvation of God. I mean, what were they all doing when the children of Israel? Think about when they got to the Red Sea, and the sea's there, and all the Egyptians are coming.
Right? Yeah.
What are we going to do? I mean, listen, you're really being moved to think we got to do something. And what does Moses say? Stand still and see the salvation of the Lord.
Yes.
Wow.
Isn't that what he says?
Exactly.
Wasn't that the work of God? Didn't they need a work to be done?
Yeah.
Didn't that tell them not by their works, but by the work of God? Do you see what God was doing there? And he kept doing that. The manna, the water out of the rock. That's what he was always doing. That's the only thing he can do. He can only be himself.
Right.
It's like we think he could be Pharaoh for a while.
Yeah.
It's like we think God come and brought us the mortar and the straw and wanted us to make bricks.
That's right. Yeah.
And then we think he brought the mortar and the straw to Jesus.
Yeah.
And Jesus is a real good brick maker. So he made good bricks for us. And now we're clothed with his good brick making.
Yeah.
Listen, man, God don't bring straw and mortar and mud to humans and say, make bricks. God sits down and makes the bricks. When God wanted a temple to dwell in, He didn't ask us to build it. Because He wanted to dwell in a body.
Yeah.
And so He came and made Himself a temple. Right? And so we got this idea that there's times where God is Pharaoh, telling us to make bricks. And if we can make bricks, then we'll be blessed. But if we can't make the bricks, we're going to be cursed. No. God come and said, listen, man, I'll make the bricks for you. Okay? So, believe on me. He even made some bricks for us. See, I'm good at making bricks. So, believe on me to make the bricks, and don't trust in your own works to make the bricks.
Right.
Because if you try to make the bricks yourself, you're going to bring the curse upon yourself. But if you rest in me to make the bricks for you, I'm going to raise you up glorified and immortal, and you'll have blessing in life all the days that you live. Right?
Wow.
God can't tell people to make bricks. He was never Pharaoh. He could never come in the likeness of Pharaoh. And I think I said this in the message. But James said, when those Jewish guys in his letter were experiencing hard times, he says, let no man say when he is tempted that he is tempted of God.
Right.
For God tempteth no man with evil. You know what evil means? To be filled with laboring and toiling.
Yes.
To be filled with your own works to gain blessing in life. And so James says God can't tempt anybody to do that. But then we say in Deuteronomy, God come and told them they'd be blessed by their own works. So God was tempting them with evil.
Yeah. Doesn't
No.
make sense.
That ain't the thing, man.
Right.
No, God was trying to bring forth rest. Bring forth rest. Bring forth rest. Because there's a way that seems right unto a man, which is that we need to do. We need to do. But that way kills us.
Yes. Right. It does indeed.